This is Almighty Smith, the Chosen One. Today we're going to be discussing, this is a follow-up video for Nipsey Hussle, Instant Karma. Now, as I stated before, we're in a time in human history where karma is almost instantaneous. So, whatever you're doing, you better be making quite sure that you're moving correctly, that you're moving righteously. We Some of the things that I touched on in the previous video, like I said before, if you haven't seen it, please go check that video out. It's the Nipsey Hussle Instant Karma video. As I said before in that video, I had an interaction with Nipsey on a spiritual realm. It was shortly after he passed. Now, I won't go back over the video and its entire. I won't go back over that interaction entirely, but I will say this: while he was alive, I had a connection with him. I've been following Nipsey for years, so when it was something that was happening on the spiritual realms. We were lining up in a certain way. See, these chosen ones, we're almost channeling information. A lot of times, channeling can come from, you can start talking to other people's voices, or you can start downloading information that is set up precisely for you. It'll help guide you while you're here on this third realm. Now, what got my attention with Nipsey was early on. It wasn't necessarily his music. It was what he was actually talking about while he was living. Early on in his career, if you take a look at it, Nipsey was talking about real estate, cryptocurrency. He was talking about karma. He was moving just like a chosen one. It's unfortunate that he was taken away from us oh so early. Like I said before, a lot of these chosen ones, when you start moving a certain way, you're going to be attacked. You will be attacked, and as we've seen before, that these attacks can be minor and they can be somewhat severe, as we've seen with Nipsey. His life was actually taken from us way before his time. You know, um, but people, you need to be aware, especially the chosen ones, because there are the ones that you should be calling the ops. When you're a chosen one, your ops are the desolate ones. They're here to take you off your path and cause you harm. So you need to be very aware of your surroundings when dealing with these desolate ones. So, always be aware of your surroundings. And I'm sure if Nipsey was alive today, he would tell you the exact same thing. So I'm going to pick up the mantle. And I'm going to tell you, you need to know who you're going up against. And they're called the desolate ones. They don't have a calling. They're here, but it can be anyone. It can be family members. It can be siblings. It can be the person down the street. It could be anyone. Anyone can pick up that mantle and be your ops or the desolate ones. They have no communication with the Most High. They're basically moving around like a zombie, walking, talking, just dealing with a lower vibrational person. So you need to be aware of that. But let me go back to the interaction that I had with Nipsey. Now, this interaction that I had during his time as he was progressing. This is the young Nip, the rolling 60 Nip, and he was gang banging at the time. And when you're gang banging, you take on everything that comes along with that. So to see a young man come out of that and pick up the mantle of being a chosen one, that's no small feat. There are a lot of distractions, and you can actually pick up a lot of bad karma in these situations. But like I said before, when you're a chosen one, you start getting information, you start channeling information that was for you to help you move in a certain way, and to basically warn you of impending danger. And I've had several situations in my life where I was downloading information. It was actually guiding me, directing me from impending danger. I had countless times where I was receiving this, you know. But let me get back to this interaction I had with Nipsey. It was shortly after his death, and I had a spiritual moment with Nipsey. Now, while he was living, I used to watch everything this man was doing. I had that connection with him. He was moving. Um, at a young age, he was in the real estate, cryptocurrency, he investing, real estate. He was into all of that at a young age. And at the same time that he was doing it, I was actually doing the exact same thing. One of his feats that he did was he had a store, and in that store, I can't quite remember how many years he was at that store. It's the same store the Marathon store is at, where he's making T-shirts, hats, sweatshirts, things of that nature. Now, he wound up owning the shopping center he was at. He had an ownership stake in the shopping center that he had a store in for years. Now, let me tell you how this channeling works. At the same time, I actually did the exact same thing. I had a store that I was in for years. But that particular store, I was there for almost 10 years, and I actually had an ownership stake in the same shopping center that I had a store in. So me and Nipsey were actually moving the almost in the exact same way. I was in the cryptocurrency, I was in the real estate heavy. That's how this works, and I'm sure there's others like you who were going through that. But I had another a whole bunch of other spiritual events that coincide with what Nipsey was doing. But let me get back to this. I'm not gonna call it a dream. I was actually taken. It was while I was asleep, and I said I was taken to a water planet that Nipsey had brought me to. I know it was Nipsey at the time. I know it was Nipsey. This dream or this spiritual event was a little bit different than anyone I'd had at the time. So while I was I went to sleep, and I woke up, and I was with someone on a planet. It was a water planet, and when I got there, I see someone in the background, and something that got my attention. There was some type of sea creature. It looked like a sea lion. It was covered in some type of diamonds. It was a rough, almost like rough diamonds all across his backside. And the person I was with, I made a comment. I said, "Look, you see that? I'm about to go down there, and I'm about to grab that. Now, before I can go jump into the water and grab it, um, I see, like I said before, I see the person in the background, and the person I was with actually jumps into the water and tries to grab. It looked almost like a sea lion, tries to grab it. So I jumped into the water and I tried to grab it, and those spikes or those diamonds that were on it, I could feel it. It was the animal, the sea lion, was actually trying to shake his way out of my grip, and I remember feeling those diamonds or spikes cutting into my arm. I wasn't bleeding, but I can feel that something was digging into my arms. So that sea creature eventually got away, and when we came up out the water, I look into the distance. That same person is there, and I said, "That's Nipsey Hussle." Initially, I didn't recognize him because his hair was down. I got a little closer, and and sure enough, it was Nipsey. He didn't say anything to me. He was just staring at me. And I remember something woke me out of my dream. And when I woke up, my arms were actually irritated from the same spot that 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 I was grabbed, that I held that sea animal at. I mean, to the point where I was scratching it for like that whole morning, and I was like, man, that wasn't a regular dream. It didn't feel like a regular dream. The person that was in the dream with me, I said, do you remember anything that happened last night? I said, we were in a dream together, and we were on a planet, and we were on the planet with Nipsey Hussle. And but I do remember when I woke up, the person was sleeping next to me, and she was I guess she was breathing a little heavier than normal, and I didn't wake her. I said, man, she's probably having that dream. But when she woke up, she didn't remember anything about what we had went through. But that's just something I wanted to share with you all. But there is another part of that dream that I wanted to share. I'm not going to share it here, like I said before in my previous podcast. I'm going to save that. I'm going to put that out into the universe one day when I actually get to meet his mother, who's still living, or his father, or Black Sam, his brother, or his baby mother, Lauren London. If I ever come across them, I would like to share with them another part of that dream that I think they might find very interesting. But I just wanted to let you guys know about that. That was my connection with Nipsey Hussle. But like I said before, Nipsey was a teacher. And even in his death, he's out here teaching us. And I think what we should understand that is karma. Karma is instant. It can be. And what I was telling you all in our previous video, that when you're dealing with karma, the karma that you put out the energy that you put out is the energy that you're going to receive. So if you're not moving righteously, you can expect not if you're not moving righteously, expect some bad karma to come your way. And the karma that you're seeing, you got to see firsthand what happened to Baby Capone and Indian Red. And I'm sure Baby Capone, the person who vandalized that mural of Nipsey Hussle, you need to understand this. You need to respect the dead. You don't go around vandalizing people's murals, or when someone dies, whether they're your enemy or not, whether they're your ops or not. You don't go to to the place where they're, a lot of people know about this. You can put up candles, balloons, and there'll be liquor bottles in an area where someone was killed. In this gang culture, you got certain people that'll go over there and start kicking over the candles, kicking over the bottles. Very disrespectful. So you better understand when you're moving like that. I don't care what you went through with that guy here on this physical realm. The spiritual realm supersedes that. You need to have respect for the dead. Don't go disrespecting people. You need to have respect for those ones that have gone, who have passed away. Okay, that's how that works, because karma is instantaneous. Now let me tell you, people, something. I've dealt with karma, and I thank God all the time that when you're dealing with those scales, my karma was always on the good side. I always had enough good karma to counteract any negativity that I may have had in my past lives or in this life. I'll be, if you anyone who's ever known me know that I'm a pretty awesome guy. So when it came down to karma, my karma was always on the good side, and it has shown throughout my life, and I think that's why I was actually picked to be one of these chosen ones. And you need to understand that, because remember, when you're dealing with karma, like I said before in a previous video, karma can affect you in your past, your present, and your future. It's just not now. It can affect your bloodline. It can jump in and out your bloodline. It can affect your children's children. It can affect you in the past. Certain things that you're going through now may be because of something you did in a past life, or someone in your family did. This is where you get the family curses from. I'm sure we all heard of that term. You might be dealing with something that someone did in your past, before you even born, years, hundreds of years before you were born. Something could have been so terrible that you can be actually dealing with that. You know, you need to be very careful. Now, in this day and age, karma is coming so fast. You don't have to wait. You can see it happen right, almost instantaneous. So, you know, we got to see that with we got to see that with Baby Capone and Indian Red. You know, so this is the thing, people. When you see people, these desolate ones, moving a certain way, you need to separate yourself from them. Don't interact with them because that energy is contagious. You don't want to have anything to do with them. So I think there's a lot of interest on this Baby Capone, you know, and it's the wrong type of energy. You know, you have people from all over this world who will view that you're putting the wrong type of energy on your name. You literally have people looking you up, waiting to see your downfall, waiting to see you get taken out the same way that happened to the Indian Red, who you were on IG Live with. You know, you don't want that, sir. There's a lot of people who love Nipsey, and this is another thing. You don't go messing around with the chosen ones. They've been chosen by the Most High. You don't want to go against the Most High because you'll be made an example of. You will most definitely be made an example of. You know, I think it was Shitty Cuz, the person who killed Nipsey. You know, a little while after that, some of his family members were actually killed behind that what he did. You know, Shitty Cuz right now, he's actually on PC. He's skipping meals, and I'm sure he wish he never did that, what he did to Nipsey. So you need to be very careful of dealing with these chosen ones, and that's a warning to all you desolate ones. No, we move differently. You know, we're not afraid of death because we know, you know, we can all come back. That message that the Most High had for us to bring down here, there's nothing going to stop that. And there's no way in the world a desolate one when he's chosen by the Most High, he can be harmed. You know, whatever happened on that, I can expand a little bit more on that. You know, a lot of times people make contracts before they come into this third dimension. You know, a lot of times I like to say he was gone too soon, but God's the best of planners. What happened to Nipsey happened it happened the way it was supposed to happen. You know, even Jesus Christ, he was taken out by the ops. And this is the thing. I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I think this is very important. Remember, Judas, the person who actually killed Jesus, um, he was Shitty Cuz is the modern day Judas. Remember, Shitty Cuz was actually a friend of Nipsey Hussle. And if you all remember, Judas was actually a friend of Jesus. So so these desolate ones, you know, envy, greed can take over these people at any time. You'd be surprised what envy will make a person do, what jealousy. Those are some powerful words, and a lot of people can't handle it. You know, I think Shitty Cuz, when he approached Nipsey, Nipsey had actually shunned Shitty Cuz because of how he was moving. He called him a rat. And he said, look, I need to see some paperwork on you. And Shitty Cuz came back and killed him. Same thing with Judas. Judas sold him out for money, over greed. So you need to understand that. And this is the thing, a lot of people need to understand that Jesus actually knew that Judas was going to turn on him. He knew this was going to happen. So this was lined up the exact same way. You know, if Jesus wanted to, he could have stopped that at any time. He could have stopped the whole crucifixion, but this is how he wanted to do it. You need to understand that Jesus, at the time when he was betrayed by Judas, he knew the whole time. He knew who Judas was. He knew how this was going to turn out, and he let it happen. He let it happen. So we're playing out roles down here. So let's be clear on that. So remember, when you're dealing with these chosen ones, you know, by them killing Jesus, The death of that one man changed history forever. He had a higher calling. Through the death of Jesus, created a religion that people are still practicing to this day. So he sacrificed his life for that. Now look at Nipsey Hussle. You know, Nipsey Hussle, he'll be memorized for the things that he did for thousands of years. We don't forget people like that. Chosen ones aren't forget. So you need to keep that in mind. So I just wanted to share that with you all. And like I said before, if you haven't seen my previous video, please check it out. And good day.